Wonderful. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to our live chat with Erin Diaz, the newest star of ABC's Quantico and a true Instagram star. This is your chance to ask the man who's been called the sexiest dad on Instagram questions about Quantico,
Oh,
fatherhood. He's a dad of two daughters, Regina and Erin, and dad bods. Tune in and ask your questions below, and we'll get to as many as we can. Welcome, Erin.
thank you so much. I like that presentation, by the way. Thank you.
It's a
That's
lot of fun.
nice.
You have quite a resume. Well, congratulations on your new role on Quantico. Were you a fan of the show before?
I was a fan of the show before. Well, let me say it this way. When I was flying from Italy to New York to meet with the producers, I had a Quantico marathon. I watched the whole thing on the plane, and actually, I finished watching the first season a couple hours before my meeting. And yeah, immediately I was captivated from the first moment I started it. This is exactly my type of show. You know, there's a lot of action. It's a thrill show. It's great. I'm super happy and proud to be a part of it, and anxious for it to come out September 25th, which is 12 days from now. And I'm curious to see the reaction from people. I think they're really gonna get into it, and I can tell you, and I can actually guarantee you that they're gonna be in shock from the first moment they start watching it, because episode one is like full on. We're on there from the beginning, and it shocked me when I read it. So I'm assuming it's gonna shock people when they see it.
Tell us a little bit about your character, Leon Velez, if that's
right.
correct. Yep.
Yes.
What can we expect from him this season?
Well, Leon is a photojournalist.
Okay.
You know, he's been traveling all over the world, obviously getting the last news. And photojournalist is a complicated job. Sometimes we see pictures that we're like, wow, that's an amazing picture, but we never think of where it came from, who took the picture, right? So basically, photojournalists our eyes. They take the picture so we can see what's going on in the rest of the world. So I really admire that profession, and I've never interpreted a photojournalist. This is the first time. It's great because there's a lot of layers to it. A photojournalist is what he does, but when we begin the story, we're gonna see that it's Leon with a whole bunch of different recruits from all over the world that were brought into the CIA, and they're going to start training them to start, fighting terrorism, basically.
You're working with Priyanka Chopra,
Yes.
who is breaking barriers for Indian women in television. That must be rubbing off on you.
Definitely. She has an incredible energy. She comes into the set every day with a lot of energy. I don't know how she does it, because after she shoots for 12 hours, she goes on and does other things, which is amazing. And it's just great to work with people like that, they're enthusiastic about every day. And believe it or not, it can get kind of exhausting being on set for hours and hours a day. So having that type of energy is great for all of us. It's a pleasure working with her.
How has Instagram changed your career? You're very big on Instagram.
Thank you for saying that. I don't consider myself to be that high tech, but just the right amount to where I can communicate with my fans. Because to me, the social media, all of them, not only Instagram, the ones that I have, Twitter, Snapchat now, is just a way of communicating with them, and hearing what they want to see from you, and giving them what you want to show them, which is incredible. It's a great way to to be in touch with the fans who deserve that and more, because I'm talking about my fans in particular. They've been there since day one, and they just give me so much love, like so much unconditional love, that I want to give something back to them. And social media is a way to do that, is giving them what they want, and it's great. I love it. I'm definitely gonna keep it around for a while.
We have some questions coming in. One of the first ones is who your favorite person is to follow on Instagram.
There's so many people that are so cool on Instagram, and everybody has their own style. I like it because you kind of get the essence of the person depending on what they put up, So I couldn't say one, but yeah, I maybe the Pope.
Lauren asked us to ask you, What do you think is especially important to teach your two daughters?
Wow. Well, every parent can relate to this probably. Nobody's born knowing how to be a parent. We all do our best effort on it, and I think it's there's so many things that you have to teach your kids, but I think if you start off with like the basics, and it's the basics. What's the basics? Well, every human being I think should be polite. They should be understanding of other people. They should be respectful to other people. So those are like the bases that I want to teach my daughters, at least, and I think every parent wants that. I think Erin and Regina are fortunate in one side and not fortunate in another side of being our daughters, because both Lola and I are artists, so we're traveling all over the world, and we're doing our thing, and we have to incorporate them to our life, because if the parents incorporate to the kids' life, then you're not going to do anything. So you kind of have to just go with the flow. They're so good. They just have it in them. They're natural. We've been in Italy this whole year. It's so many flights back and forth, and it's like they do it even better than we do. They're just naturals, and it's.
For people who don't know, your wife is an opera singer, correct?
Yeah, Lola's an opera singer. She's an incredible opera singer. She's been doing a tour with Notre Dame de Paris all through Italy. I was just in Verona last week because she did the Arena de Verona, which is the most important opera venue in the world. Before that, she's been singing with Andrea Bocelli in several of his concerts. I think she's going to do that again now in his tour here in the U.S. It's just amazing to be surrounded by so much talent and love, like singers that sing like she does, or Andrea Bocelli, for example. It's just like opening up their soul and just giving it all to the audience, and it's so admirable, and I didn't even know she did this when I met her, and I've been learning as our relationship grows, and it's I admire her so much, not only for the artist that she is, but for the mother that she is, and she just I could talk about her for hours. So
are your daughters displaying any singing talent yet?
They are. Erin is only 2, and Erin's 3 and Reggie's 2, and they know all the songs now, and they're singing in Italian, and they're up on stage every show when it ends. The people there's a standing ovation. I probably watched the show about 80 times already, and it surprises me how every single time there's a standing ovation, and people won't leave the venue until they come out and sing a cappella. And Erin and Reggie come out on stage like it's normal. They're saying hi to 15,000 people, and it's normal. I don't know where they get it from.
Okay, so tell us how you really feel about that title, Sexiest Dad on Instagram.
Who gave me that title, by the way?
I think it was Tina.
I don't, I blush when I hear that kind of a thing, because it's a beautiful compliment, but I can't. I blush. I still do, even though I've heard it before. It's nice. It's nice to get that type of comment from women. Women are the most admirable and respectful people for me. They're women. I have a beautiful mother, a sister, a niece, 2 daughters, a wife. Women are amazing, and the only thing men have to do is treat the women well, and everything is going to be perfect. And that's how I see things. So, having a comment from women like that is nice.
Emily asked, I noticed quite a few pictures of you in your underwear on your Instagram. Are you ever intimidated by putting those types of pictures up?
Well, the pictures that you saw are probably this campaign I just did for an Italian brand called OVS. And it's part of the contract, actually. Social media is so strong nowadays that they want it up there, and that's what that is. And no, I don't feel intimidated being in my underwear. It's just like being in a bathing suit, and I'm in a bathing suit very often, by the way, because I love the ocean. So it's just if I could be in a bathing suit all day, I would.
Do your kids willingly pose for photos, or do you have to bribe them?
No, I think kids in these generations are just integrated with technology, and Erin takes pictures of us, and then she'll be like, "Daddy, take a picture," and she'll pose. I didn't show her how to do that. I'm sure Lola probably did, but she sees whatever they see they want to do. So they're just naturals. Yeah.
What have been some of your favorite places you've traveled with your family?
Wow, there's so many places around the world. That's one more incredible than another. I couldn't say, but traveling with your loved ones is completely different than traveling by yourself. And I've been to places that I've been before by myself, and then traveling with the family is just so much better, So I can't tell you one place. I'm Mexican American, so lots of places in Mexico that I love. The U.S. is filled with beautiful places. I grew up in Northern California, and just being able to travel and to see the world is what I really enjoy. It's one of the greatest things, I believe.
Lindsay asks, how do you stay in shape while juggling all the demands of parenthood and a hit show?
Well, you stay in shape because it's part of your essence, I believe. I've always been super athletic. I played sports my whole life, and if I don't, I'm in New York City now, so it's a big city. It's an asphalt city. If I don't go to the park skating or have a run or go, to the river kayaking, or if I don't do something, if 1 week passes where I don't do something physical, I don't feel good. I feel tired. I don't feel good. So I just try to do something, even if it's walking around the city. You're walking everywhere, so I just keep active that way. And when I'm in Miami, where our base is, I do a lot of kite surfing and skiing and just any sport I can get my hand on, basically.
Are there any exercises that you don't like to do?
I don't like to be inside very much, so gyms, I try to avoid them as much as I can. I go every once in a while, but I like the outdoors a lot more. So I would just say, in general, just being inside, I'm kind of claustrophobic, I guess.
Several commenters are asking if you are doing any novellas anytime soon.
Well, for the rest of the year, I'm not, because I'm going to be shooting Quantico for the rest of this year. But telenovelas are a very important part of my life, and hopefully, as long as people want to see me in them, I definitely at some point I'll get back to them. Yeah.
Kellyanne asks, what actresses or public figures do you want your daughters to look up to?
Well, I want my daughters to look up to, people who are giving the right message. I think artists and, athletes and just public figures, it's very important that they give, their audience the right message. There's so much information nowadays and so many horrible things happening. We need to lose focus on those ugly things that are happening. Don't give them so much attention, and just put more attention to nice, beautiful things surrounding us, which there's millions of. It's just, if you turn on the news, everything's horrible. So you need to give more exposition to things that are happening that are good, because it's contagious. I think if you're in a room filled with people who are sad, you're gonna get sad. If you're filled in a room with people who are happy, you're gonna get happy. So it's a contagious thing. And I just want them to look up to people who are giving the right message. I just want them to be optimistic always.
Well, speaking of beautiful things, we have a number more questions about your Instagram. Lauren asks what the funniest comment is you've received on Instagram.
I don't know.
Can you say it?
Yeah. I don't know. There's, especially in Spanish, there's so many ways to say something but mean something else. So I get a lot of double meaning things, and it's just I take them all as compliments, and they're, at the end of the day, that's what they are.
Nancy wanted to know if a post has ever gotten you into trouble.
Not that I can remember. I try to be good. I try not to put up there anything that I'm going to regret. I basically use the social media for that. What I mentioned earlier is giving back a little bit of what I receive every day from fans. It's all about love and sharing moments, I think.
Macy asks, asked us, how does your wife feel about your posts? She said, I'm guessing that she likes them because she'll share your pictures a lot.
Yeah, tell me. Sometimes sometimes I'll get a call from her being like, "You haven't posted anything in like 3 or 4 days." I said, "Well, yeah, I'm working. I don't even have anything to post. What? I'm just been in a studio all day. I don't think they want to see me in front of the lights all day, just waiting, And she'll be like, no, you have to put things up. And she puts things up. She's gotten me before. She got me once. I remember. I think we were in Mykonos. No, I can't. Oh, Marrakesh. I think we were in Marrakesh maybe a year back. And all of a sudden, when I'm in places like that, far away, I just forget I even have a phone and I just enjoy it. So I didn't have anything to put up when I was there. And then all of a sudden we come back to Italy, I think, and I turn on my phone and I'm starting to see all these comments and stuff. And all of a sudden I bump into this video that she took while I was waking up, and she put it up on her social media. So I don't think she minds. I think she shares it with the fans as well,
Definitely. Maria wanted to know how you prepared for your role in Quantico.
Well, I prepared. It was interesting because this all happened from one day to another. I flew from Italy for a meeting here in New York, and then I was never able to go back. I was supposed to be going back the next day, and they ended up asking me to stay to start shooting like 3 days later. So as soon as I knew that I was going to be involved in the show, I just started doing all the research I could, as I usually do. I don't know a lot of photojournalists, but I started, thank God for the internet, and I started doing my research on there and seeing what their deal is all about, and seeing it's very powerful for someone to decide they're going to put their life at risk to go and take some of these pictures that they take in the middle of wars or protests or different things, so very admirable, I believe. And it's basically they go to a lot of times a dangerous situation, not get involved, but are in the middle of this dangerous situation to bring us what they're seeing, and to make us aware of things that are going on. So it's very respectful, and I really admire them. And that's just one of the layers that these characters have, because the way this is written, there's a lot of layers, and there's a lot of back history to each one of these characters, so you can be expecting a lot of things that I don't even know today.
Candace asked what your favorite comfort food is.
Oh, well, listen to this. My mom and my sister are chefs. So I grew up in a house of chefs. My parents own restaurants, so I grew up in that business. So if I know something, it's food. And I guess my comfort food, I would say, is my mom's food, because I can't remember the last time I ate at home or cooked a meal at home. Here in the city, you're just eating out every day, or so when I go back home, my mom is always a mom, and she's like, "Oh honey, what would you like?" And she'll make whatever I feel like having. So that's it's great. I absolutely love that.
We ask this question of a lot of the women that we interview, but I wanted to ask you. You're a father, a husband, you have a new show, you clearly work out a lot. How do you balance it all?
I enjoy life, I enjoy what I do. I think people who do what they love are lucky. So we're all lucky because we do what we love. Not everybody has that opportunity. And I think there's nothing I would say. I'm healthy. I have a job. I have a healthy family. So I just like to see everything in it with my happy goggles and enjoy every moment of it. When it comes to keeping healthy, it's very important that everybody keeps healthy. I mean, we all know what food is like nowadays, and it's just everybody knows what makes their body feel good. So you just keep with that and try to move. Movement is the best thing, even if some people have to work in an office all day. Well, yeah, maybe walk home or walk half the way there, or go out for a walk, or just anything that's movement is good for our bodies. I like to stay on the move.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the new season.
Thank you so much, and I hope everybody joins us.
Thank you.